Hey everyone, and welcome to my assessment 2 presentation. Let's move on. I've got some fancy animations, but we don't have too much time. I'm going to move on to my working model demonstration. Although it's not too much, I see this as a pretty tiny but mighty way of representing the manipulation of waterways that we've seen for the betterment of hunting by First Nations people for tens of thousands of years up in Brewarrina. And as you can see, I've used a bit of masking tape and some different scaffolding techniques, but I can see lots of different kids tackling this problem in lots of different ways. So as you can see, this is my working model for my diagram. You can see my labeled parts of the diagram and read the purpose and the series or parallel. I chose parallel because I didn't want one tool from my model to essentially destroy the entire model. So I've created a parallel which allows either the buzzer or the lamp to be, I guess, a bit of a fall guy for the other one, which allows the entire model to operate. But feel free to have a read. This also includes a key of the energy transfers and energy transformations. But let's go a little bit deeper. We're diving deeper into this water topic. Our unit of work, you can see on the left is our content, the middle is scientific concepts, and the right is general strategies for teaching. The middle key scientific concepts, we're essentially focusing on electrical energy and conductivity. That I feel like that's a pretty supreme scientific concept. Transfers, transformations, and their differences. Prototyping, diagrams as abstract representations, and also Aboriginal knowledges and practices as valid and scientific evidence, pardon me. And that also leads into our general strategies. Feel free to have a read. But let's dive a little bit deeper. So we've got 9 lessons in total. Lessons one, two, and three. Here we go. Lesson one is our HSIE lesson. So that focuses on how varying environments offer varying foods and materials and how we acquire those, especially using technology. So we have a diagnostic assessment and summative assessment reveal there. We also have grouped research tasks, including mind mapping, and that will lead to our understanding of how we rely on different environments for food and materials. As you can see, pedagogical approach and also evidence or references. Lesson two is moving on to electricity. So, what is it? How does it represent or present in our lives, really? How does it also travel, transfer, and transform? We're going to be activity-wise using an inquiry-based learning framework, the 5E frameworks. We'll be engaging in electricity in a daily life scavenger hunt, and you can read more on that. That will lead to discovering circuits first and foremost and how electricity is even manipulated. Once again, the pedagogical approaches are below. Lesson three is building a simple and parallel circuit and representing them using basic diagrams. So this will introduce the summative assessment as presented in assessment two. Uh, Students will be building circuits in groups. So group work, this will be using the pedagogical approach of gradual release of responsibility, pardon me, with the reference below. Um, Also, this will lead to creating a basic model or prototype using a circuit. Lessons four and five. Lesson four, we're going to be applying circuits to create a simple model and then prototype using movement, light, and or sound and reasoning on the purpose. That'll be a focus here. The summative assessment reintroduction will be included in the activity. Then circuit resources will be used to build a basic working model. And then this will lead to prototyping a design brief with purpose. Lesson five, we have learning about First Nations technology across Australia with a particular focus on Ngambar Walawan country. So this will be the Brewarrina fish traps. So activities will include class discussions on things such as, or indigenous inventions such as the woomera to assist spear throwing, or the emu caller to lure away emus for their nest for egg collection, and then also diagram creation and labeling of the Brewarrina fish traps. And this will link to associating design to a design brief with the pedagogical part of me approaches below. Lesson 6, we can see a design brief here. This is just interpreting a design brief and brainstorming creative solutions. There's our design brief below. Lesson 7, pardon me. We'll be learning to select one of our particular designs based on peer teacher research and feedback and also feasibility, and lining that to a working circuit plan. So this will be drawing as an activity labeled as circuit diagrams and their models, creating a working resources list and beginning assembling parts. And this will lead to creating a instructional or functional prototype rather. Lesson 8 will be continuing construction and testing of our prototype, with the activity being continuing to create our prototype and the visual design of such. And this will lead to the evaluation with pedagogical approaches below. This is our penultimate lesson. And then lesson 9 is assembling a submission, including a final version or prototype and labeling the justified diagram. This will lead to a gallery walk of each submission. We have our required term 2 resources with particular thought made to sustainable use of resources, as you can see along uh, the 3 post-it notes. We have our differentiation for above, at level, and below, with particular mention to the amount of elements of energy transformations made between levels. So above level is all 3, at level is 2 to 3, and a below level is 1 to 2, with particular mentions on the slides, as you can see. I have a risk assessment, so feel free to pause. As we go a little bit deeper, we have my assessment criteria. This is sourced from excellent sound to development, or developing rather. And the criteria focuses on working model, energy transformation, circuit diagram, reasoning, and prototype. Thank you so much for watching. And from here is only my bibliography. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Have a great day.